most practical class for fill in the blanks, drag and drop of PTE reading module. There are two outcomes of this class. Number one, you will be able to manage the time effectively. Number two, you will be able to answer the blanks more accurately. If you pay attention to this class and if you implement what I'm teaching, which is tested in the real examination. In the PTE real examination, there will be minimum 4 questions from this, maximum 5 questions from this. And the weightage is 18 marks in reading. 18 marks in reading. Now let's look at one sample question. Fill in the blanks, drag and drop. On the top, you can see the instruction. In the real exam also, you will be able to see the instruction. Instruction is present and there is no need to read the instruction if you know how to operate. Okay, so there are 3 parts you can see in this question type. Number 1, you can see text, right? This is text. Some people call it paragraph, some people call it passage. Fundamentally, it's a piece of text, right? Number 1. Number 2, in the text, in between text rather, there are blanks, right? Blank 1, blank 2, blank 3. There are 4 blanks sometimes. There are 5 blanks also. So generally 3 to 4 blanks will be there in every question. All right. So now text is visible. Blanks are visible, something else is also visible. That is the options or the choices which you have at the bottom. If anything you feel is the correct choice, for example, this is correct choice. If you think, you click it, you drag it, you drop it. But if you change your mind before you hit the next button in the real examination, what you can do, you can always reverse. Okay. So this, any reversal should happen before you hit the next button. This is how it works. So let's understand the score calculation. Just go with feedback. Please see. Now, every time you fill a blank with the perfect answer, when you fill, you get what? 1 mark. So there are 3 blanks in it. I think I answered 2 correct, just for example, 1 incorrect. So my score is what? 2 marks. So it's very simple. You answer a blank. If it is correct, 1 mark. If you answer a blank, if it is incorrect like this, 0 marks. Right? If you do not answer a blank, if you leave it empty also, it is 0. There is no negative mark in this task. Since the basics are covered, let's understand how to answer a question in simple 2 steps. Step number 1 is F10. F10. Step number 2 is B30. F10 and B30 is the process of answering a fill in the blanks question. F10 is nothing but reading the first line of the passage or paragraph in 10 seconds. That's what F10, and this is your first step. Let me demonstrate. Let's say you're answering this question. What you do is you simply read the first line. Technology and flexible work have had a significant impact on today's busy companies. So technology's impact on today's busy companies, that's the topic. So when you read it for 10 seconds, you will indirectly register it in your mind. When you register it, what happens is the topic related vocabulary in your mind will be activated. That's the benefit number 1. And there are several benefits which need not be discussed now for the sake of time reasons. All right. So F10 is reading the paragraph's first line or first sentence to know the topic. B30, on the other hand, is answering a blank in 30 seconds time. That's B30. Now let me demonstrate B30. So you are answering first blank. So you will go always in the same sequence. First, second, third, fourth. In this process, you have to answer the first blank. So to answer the first blank, what you have to do is you have to read that blank's sentence, right? Technology and flexible work blank have had a significant impact on today's companies. So, okay, so you read the sentence. Okay, from this sentence, either verb is missing, generally noun is missing, adjective is missing, adverb is missing, right? Generally, these are the words that are, conjunction is missing, right? So situationally, what is it basically? What is the correct word? Technology and flexible work, blank have. So since have is there, what you do is you will look for plurals, because after plurals only you have HAVE, have, right? So there should be a plural. Then you will work on only plurals. Deals, practices, only 2 words are there. Technology and flexible work deals, not much. Technology and flexible work practices is a perfect collocation. Then I'll go with that. So every answer, every blank, we should try to answer in 30 seconds time. If in 30 seconds you are able to answer the blank, it's great, awesome. If you cannot answer, immediately after 30 seconds, just thank the blank. Thank the blank, because this blank is going to be easier towards the end. That's why you're thanking it. All right. So you thank the blank and you keep it on hold. Thanking is nothing but you're keeping it on hold. You're not saying goodbye to it. Now you go to the second one. In terms of productivity, it seems the blank has shifted. Now here I need a singular because has is there, right? So like this, every blank you try to answer in 30 seconds time in the first round. Okay, so any blank is left, we will answer it last. So B30 is reading the blank's sentence, using grammar, using situation, answering the blank, right? In 30 seconds only. Again, I repeat. So if it is not happening, thank the blank, go to the next one. This rule does not apply to the last blank. Of course, when you go to the last blank, the chances of you not answering are very, very less, right? Now I will demonstrate answers for this question. The first one we decided it should be what? Practices. The second one, what is it? In terms of productivity, it seems the blank has shifted from managing employees and workplace to monitoring their total something. It seems the and has. I need a noun because the is there, and I need a singular noun because has is there. Has, before has, there will always be what? Single noun or singular noun. So I look for what nouns. What has shifted? Maybe the first word, focus has shifted, way has shifted, output has shifted, extent has shifted. What is it? Focus has shifted, because shifting focus shift. It's a collocation. What is collocation? Collocation is what you call the couple of words or 2-3 words that go with each other more frequently, more naturally. They are called collocations. I'll talk about collocations towards the end. Okay, this should be what? Focus has shifted. Let me work on the next one. What is it? Managing employees in the workplace has shifted from managing employees in the workplace to monitoring their total blank, no matter where they choose to work. So it is about productivity. It is saying total. Total is an adjective. Total is an adjective, right? Adjective needs a noun. So what is the noun? Total, productivity related thing I want. Practices. Output is productivity related thing. Yes or no? Output or productivity, both are close words. So I'm going with what? Output. I'll choose here output. Next one. Whether this trend will continue depends to some blank on how well it works for everyone concerned. Depends to some extent. To some extent. To some extent. These are, again, this is a collocation. These 3 words go with each other more frequently, more naturally. That's why we can call it collocation. So we are answering it in the same fashion. Now let me answer one more sample question. Starting with F10. The practice of giving graduation gifts seems to be alive and well despite some economic times. Okay, that's fine. Right. Despite blank economic times. So it is well and alive. So we need something negative here, because despite is a word that suggests something contradictory. So we need some negative word. Generous, I think I have only hard economic times. A recent study in the US has shown that while families may not have as much to spend, they are being more blank in the gifts the best. They are being more blank in the gifts the best. They don't have as much money to spend, so they cannot be generous. Hard is already used. So some favorable no. So creative, they can be creative. Or if you do not get the answer instantly, leave it there. Thank it and then go to the next one, which I'm doing now. Lavish celebrations and lump blank seem to have gone by wayside in favor of small and more thoughtful gift. Lump sums. I think lump sums is correct answer. So people are no longer giving what? Lavish gifts. They are giving thoughtful gifts. So I got a cue to answer my second blank. That is what? Maybe more creative is correct answer. Let's look at the answers. The first one, the practice of giving graduation gifts seems to be alive and well despite. So whenever you have this word despite, what happens is you see the previous sentence. If the previous sentence was negative, then this sentence is going to be positive. If it was positive, this is going to be negative. So it's positive here. There should be negative word here, right? The adjective should be negative. So that's how we should do it. We should work on it. Despite, in spite, though, even though, although, these are words. They indicate what? Reverse flow or the contradiction, basically. They're being more creative because situationally correct. They don't have as much money. They are giving more thoughtful gifts, maybe creative. In that lines is correct answer. The last one, large lump sums. Lump sum is a collocation, right? I once again recommend you to spend only 30 seconds on one blank. I think you might be asking me, thinking that you have spent more than 30 seconds time. Yes, I spent more than 30 seconds time because I was explaining you, right? So if any blank is taking more than 30 seconds, thank it, go to the next one. How it helps, I'm explaining you now. For example, I did not get the answer for the first blank. I tried it for 30 seconds, but I did not get the answer. Now, for one blank, how many options I have? I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 options. I have 6 options. So 1 versus 6. But if I thank it and go to the next one, if I work on this, if I work on this, if I get the answer for these two, what happens is I'll have only 4 options when I go back to the leftover blank, right? So there is what decreased number of options. There will be decreased number of options at the end. Number one benefit. Number two benefit is if you stick to one blank for longer than 30 seconds, maybe somebody is spending 30 seconds of, more than 30 seconds, maybe 40 seconds, 1 minute, 1.5 minute, usually that person will not leave the blank without answering it. So that person is under tremendous pressure because the time is ticking. You have already overspent time. You will not leave that blank without answering it. Then what you fundamentally do, you will put something and leave. For example, here if you put, let's say, the answer creative in the tension, it looks funny to put creative as an answer, but in the tension, if you in that anxiety, if you put creative as an answer, what happens? Without you going to the second blank only, you have answered 2 blanks wrong, because the first one wrong, the second one's correct answer you are inserting here. So that means you lost 2 marks without even answering the second blank. I'm saying there is no negative marking, but this can happen, right? There is third benefit. The benefit is this. For example, when I did not get answer for first one, same case, right? If I answered this one, if I answered this one. So in order to answer the balance blanks, first I did not answer. I wasn't able to answer, but I answered second one. I answered third one. For answering second and third, I have to go through the paragraph, right? So my familiarity with the paragraph has increased. Yes or no? My options are decreasing. The time pressure on my head is decreasing. Yes or no? I am peacefully answering if I am following F10 and B30 method. Gunpowder, also referred to as black powder, was the only black chemical explosive until mid-19th century. It was about a chemical explosives history. That's fine. I think first blank I'll answer. Gunpowder, also referred to as black powder, was the only blank chemical explosive until mid-19th century. After mid-19th century, there was no chemical explosive. Includes, contains no. I think known chemical explosive is correct answer here. Right, known is correct answer until mid-19th century. It blank potassium nitrate and saltpeter, which is an oxidizer and combination of charcoal, sulfur, and all that. It blank. So it tend blank generally attracts verb, right? It I need a verb here. It includes, it contains, it caused. No, caused is not correct answer. So what is it? It contains is correct answer. It contains, because it's a chemical composition, it can contain different elements, right? So it contains is correct answer. There is blank consensus that gunpowder was initially invented in China as early as 19th century. So there is kind of historical consensus, or maybe something like that, that it was invented. Includes blank consensus. We need an adjective. Contains, academic is adjective, of course. Known, unique, led. I think there is academic consensus because it is talking about the history. So academic consensus is right collocation to be used. This blank to its use in fireworks and in gunpowder weapons. This blank, this properties, this invention, basically. This includes, okay, this caused, this unique, no, this led to its use in. So it's about past, therefore led to its use in, the other explosive materials. Now let us look at the logic. The first, these are the correct answers. Known, contains, academic, led. These are the correct answers. Let's see why. Known. Here adjective is required, other adjectives are not suitable. So just in case if you are unable to answer the first blank in the first place, don't do anything complicated. Just try it for 20-30 seconds. If you're unable to get it, just thank it, go to the next one. It blank potassium nitrate or saltpeter, which is an oxidizer. It the suitable word here is what? It contains only, not includes. It includes, you don't use for chemical composition. You use for probably a holiday trip or something, okay? A package or something, or a commercial package. You use what? It includes, let's say breakfast, something like that. So contains is for contents is the correct word for any chemical thing. So there is blank consensus. Academic consensus is a collocation, guys. Other word is not at all suit, right? This blank, it was invented in 19th century. This blank to its use in fireworks and gunpowder weapons. This lead. So lead is what? Leads second form. Lead. Second form. Second verb form is what? Led. This led because it in the past. It led to what? Because of this. This invention, people started using it at what? Fireworks and gunpowder. So this led to its use in fireworks and gunpowder. So this is the answer. F10 B30. Let's answer one more question. So Marion Dorset was an influential American biochemist. It is about an influential biochemist. That's fine. When you have names like this, so don't try to pronounce these names perfectly. Not necessary. It should not consume your time. So if Marion Dorset is there, let's say you say MD, that's it. There is a guy otherwise. That's it. Don't try to pronounce it. It's not good for you. So you lose time if you try to pronounce it correctly. And when you are outside the speaking module, there is no need for you to pronounce anything outside. Correct? If you are doing it, you are doing it for yourself. That's it. There is no score given to you when you step out of the speaking module. Influential biochemist. He began working as a for US Department of Agriculture in 1984. Okay, so he began. So it is talking about the beginning of his career. He began working as a what? Researcher, leader, serum inspection. As a researcher. Maybe he's a biochemist. He started working as a researcher and worked his way up to become chief of the biochemical in 1904. So he has achieved something in 1904. He became what? Chief of the biochemical department or branch or something. What is it? Division, department, branch, division. These are all same words. Okay, division in 1904. He made important discoveries in bacterial toxins and animal diseases. He conducted pioneering work in the blank of meat products. So, work in the blank of the requires noun. Okay, researcher, fluid, inspection, consumption. Conducted pioneering work in the blank of research, meat products. Work in the blank of consumption of, inspection of. We have serum of is not suiting. So maybe he is a researcher, therefore inspection of meat products. So he's supposed to be a researcher. They inspect things, they study things. So research involves what? Inspection. So inspection is something I'm choosing. He co-discovered the virus that causes hog cholera and subsequently developed a blank to prevent it. He discovered a virus that causes one type of cholera and subsequently developed a blank to prevent it. Probably medicine to prevent it. Of course, medicine or some kind of a vaccine to prevent it. Prevention needs what? Vaccine. I'm sorry, not medicine. So what is closest to vaccine? Liter, fluid. Okay, serum is correct one because serum is the suitable word in this context. So when you are answering, first line 10 seconds, every blank 30 seconds. That's it. 30 seconds. It's not happening. You leave it. You come back to it later. Now look at the answers. First one is researcher because he started working as a, you cannot put here leader because the leader is going to come here, right? Because it is in 1894 and this is 1904. There is time, maybe he worked hard and it is written here. And worked his way up to become chief of biochemical division. Okay. He conducted pioneering work in the inspection of meat products. He co-discovered the virus that causes hog cholera and subsequently developed a serum to prevent it. Hog cholera is a disease and serum is something used to prevent anything. You, in other words, call it what? Vaccine. Let us look at the grammar hints in each one. Please see. Here, if you see, many of the options are singulars. They're all singulars. All right, not a problem. Now, if there are no singulars, there are not only singulars, there are plurals, you have an advantage. Every time Pearson PT will not give you one type of nouns. It will give you combination, right? So it says what? Working as a. After a, definitely it is going to be singular. This is the grammar cue. So every time you don't have all singular pieces like this, right? There will be mix, so it's going to be useful. Next one. He worked his way up to become chief of biochemical department or division. Biochemical is what? Adjective, right? Biochemical blank in 1904. Biochemical department or division. Biochemical is acting like a adjective. All right. For example, you say Chinese food. Chinese is acting like what? Adjective. Food is noun. Yes. Now then the other one. What is it? And it conducted pioneering work in the, after the noun will come. So then after there can be plural noun, there can be singular noun, anything can be there. That's another grammar thing here. Me products, he co-discovered virus and developed a blank to prevent it. After a, at any cost, you will get what? Singular noun. That is starting with what? Consonant. Consonant, right? What is consonant? The sound which is other than A, E, I, O, U is consonant. Using questionnaires to gather information from people is a well-used quantitative research method. It's about questionnaires as a quantitative research method. That's the topic. It is considered to be an easy. It should be a singular thing, right? Because, yeah. So I'll go into grammar later. Easy what? Singular is needed. Easy option, easy opportunity, selection, influences, requires noun. So easy option is something the correct answer. Question type, clarity of language, length of questionnaire, and layout are just some of many blank, just some of many, which many what? Many means we need plural, right? We need what? Factors is the only factors and influences. Both of them are correct answers grammar wise. Many factors is correct answer because these are all factors, yes or no, which all need to be carefully considered when designing the questionnaire. Another issue, which blanks some deliberation, See, you have which blank and some deliberation, which needs some deliberation, probably, which needs, which requires some deliberation. Needs some deliberation or requires some deliberation. Correct answer is how to ensure a high response. A high response what? High response rate is a collocation. Let's look at the answers all at one go. An easy option, many factors, plural, many, plural, which requires response rate. One by one. Easy option is a collocation. Second, factors, many factors is a collocation, and other words are not creating meaning there. Third one, what is it? Which requires, other words are not creating any meaning there. And, which blank, some deliberation to ensure high response, blank. High response rate is a collocation, other words are not suitable. So here, if you see, if I want to talk about the third blank, which needs, right? After which WH words, you have a blank and one more noun is come. WH word, WH, where, how, when, who, all these things are WH words. A blank is there and some noun is coming. So in between, what is missing? So what is the price of this pen? What is? Is a verb. Okay. Where are you guys? Where are is verb. Okay. So something like that, right? So this, what requires attention. Okay. Something like that. See, thousands of PTE practice questions. Like essays, we have 101 essays. We are adding based on our exam experiences. Look at this, it has grammar. For example, you are lacking in subject-verb agreement. You can go and work on 5 levels of subject-verb agreement exercises. Nobody is lecturing you on grammar. You are simply learning based on the activities. Now, for improving vocabulary, we have vocabulary improvement section and listening spelling section. So if you want to improve the exam familiarity, we have 10 mock tests coming here. Each mock test, when you write, gives you score. It gives you insights where you're doing well, where you're not doing well, all that stuff. And you can even access your answers once you finish the exam. So all the materials, like the latest guides, templates, everything is mentioned here. And the entire course recording is available. Latest class recording is available, including my real exam experiences. So, right, all the basics. Now, this is my real exam experience, the exam that I took on January 26th, January 30, 2026 or something. So everything, it's a complete package. Don't hesitate to buy this. The subscription is starting from just, I think, 1,500 rupees in Indian currency for a week's subscription. So every feature is going to come in the 1 week subscription plan. I'll meet you with the new essay sample question and answer. Stay tuned. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't. If you find value in my channel, please do subscribe.